This is Chris Elliott with Remax Action Real Estate coming at you today with this week's real estate quick tip. Today we're going to be talking about the 3 pricing strategies of how to price your home when you go to market and the 3 different options that you have. Now, obviously there's slight variations to this. I'm kind of giving you somewhat of an oversimplified an example here, but when presenting rule of 3. So anyway, so starting off, so the first strategy that you can use when pricing your property when you're selling is what I call the needle in the haystack strategy. So basically what you do, your agent sits down with you, you look at the market comps, you look at what's been selling, you look at your home, you look at the upgrades you've done, you look at the condition of your home, and you say, hey, my home should be priced at X, or the market value of my property is X. But even though I know the market value of the property is X, I want to price it at Y. I want to price it up high above what anything says that it should be priced at, because I may just get that price. We may just win the lottery. We might, roll number 7 and actually get more than we really should. So I will say that this strategy does work sometimes. Not very often, but it does work sometimes. So obviously the pro there is it'd be phenomenal to get more money for your property than you necessarily should. And I know every time I share this, kind of go through this with clients, everybody's got a brother's, mother's, uncle, had a neighbor whose dog tried this one time and it actually worked. So yes, it does work sometimes. More often than not though, the property tends to sit. Buyers, agents, in the market itself just kind of rejects the price because they're looking at the comps, same comps that you're looking at, and they say, hey, look, great house, but overpriced. We're going to move on to another property. So the potential con here is you end up sitting on the market, so it takes a little bit longer to sell. You eventually probably have to do a price reduction, and now you've lost the opportunity though when a property first hits the market, that sizzle, that attention that the marketplace has on that property. When it first hits the market, it's new, it's fresh, it's been there, versus if you have to make that price reduction down the road, sometimes buyers will look at it and say, you know what, I've already seen that property, I've already looked at it, I'm not interested. They either have moved on to another property already, or they're kind of discounting your property because they feel like it's something they've already seen before. So those are the pros and cons of there. The second strategy is pricing the property at fair market value. So you look at those comps, you look at your property, you look at the condition, you look at all the things we talked about, and you say, hey, my fair market of my house is X, I'm going to price it at X. Now, typically what we're seeing, especially in the market that we're in, those properties will generally sell for either list price, slightly above, or very close to it. And they generally are selling within under 30 days. I want to say median, days on market is about 24 days at the time of this recording. So typically those properties will sell pretty quickly. So the pros here, you're going to get fair market value for your home most of the time. You're going to sell relatively quickly, which means you don't have to endure as many showings. You're taking advantage of that wave, the buzz that's created when a property first hits the market. The only potential con here is, you might always look back and say, hey, honey, if we had priced it at X, could we have gotten it? So I don't think it's necessarily a con, but you do give up the potential of kind of winning the lottery and getting more than you should. So the third strategy, and this one's for my most savvy clients, and it's very selective that I'll use this strategy. But if you have a property that you absolutely know is going to sell, it's a beautiful listing, it's in a great area, and you know we're going to get multiple offers and the thing's going to sell quickly, sometimes what I'll suggest to clients is, hey, let's actually price it, let's look at fair market value, but then let's actually price it just a little bit under fair market value. What this does is this creates a frenzy on the property. So basically what happens, buyers, agents, everyone in the world recognizes, hey, it's a great listing, it's actually underpriced, it brings a lot more attention to the property, you have a lot more buyers that become engaged in the property, fall in love with the property, write you offers, and what will happen, if you pick the right house to do this with, that house will end up eventually getting bidded up and up and up, and a lot of times it will actually sell for more money than fair market value, or more money than it should, quote unquote, because you've created the auction effect. The banks will do this with their foreclosures, auctioneers have been doing this for years, so it is a phenomenon that absolutely works. Like I said, the pro here is if you do it right, you could potentially get more money than fair market value for your property. The only potential risk you run with this is that if the property doesn't sell, or if the property doesn't get bid up, then obviously you could still reject a lower price, but then you have to then raise it typically to fair market value. Sometimes buyers will, if the property doesn't sell, sometimes buyers will reject a new or higher price, saying, hey, what have you done to justify the increase in the price? But that's why I say I'm very selective when I use this strategy of homes that I know are going to get multiple offers, that I know are going to sell, because then the likelihood of that getting bid up and up and up is much higher. So Anyway, I hope all this made sense. I hope this helps. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys next week on the next quick tip.